What's up, guys? Cedo Cost here with another video. So guys, okay, so first of all, thank you for the support on the sealed tier list. I thought that was a bunch of fun, just kind of doing a video like that. Second of all, they have just released another video for the T1 World Championship Signature Edition. This is crazy. I'm just playing it in the background, of course. We've seen a number of it, but we see here how it actually rises up when they open it. That's crazy. And supposedly it lights up as well. You've got gumayusi there. You've got the acrylic that you can sit it upon. We can see the card quality as well. This is crazy. The card quality is so minty. Just seeing here, going through this here. Of course, they mentioned only 2025 of these exist. We are looking at truly amazing things right here. And I kind of wanted to just start the video off here just with that. And you know, it's very exciting. Of course, that's crazy. That shot of gumayusi was crazy. So of course the drawing goes out tomorrow. You know, all the best to those who try. I'm gonna try. I've asked my little brother to try for me as well. That's basically nothing. Again, I'm most likely going to have to buy on the secondary market, which I've accepted. I accepted it from the very beginning. I have a few things, bits and bobs here I can sell, like I mentioned, to fund it, because I will need to fund it. You know, in most cases, I'm not really willing to spend thousands on a card, but I am willing for T1. You know, besides Morgana, I'm not really willing to spend thousands. Like, I will buy her signature card. Most other cards, like for example, I just got the Kha'Zix as well. That just arrived as well. For example, I've been collecting the non-signs, but for Morgana, for example, people, you know, champions I really want to chase, I'll grab. I'll then buy the signature card. But you know, for T1, I will figure out the money. And shout out to the Rich Fu. I'm sure you guys have seen a bunch of his videos as well. I'm not on Twitter, so I don't see this, but you can see here the Chinese Riftbound China have showcased a few of the cards, and you can see how minty these cards are. This is crazy. Like, this is absolutely nuts. Like, I don't know what to say. Look how minty these cards are. This is going to be an absolute bonanza. Now, if this is the quality of both the non-signed and the signs, I'm sorry, these are gonna, you know, we'll discuss this, as I've been saying, as we get closer and closer. I am just sharing my initial thoughts because, again, there's so much to talk about. But I do think we need to let the market start to breathe and show itself. You know, really exciting times ahead. And you know, I just wanted to just cover that. Again, shout out to the Rich Fu. I'm not on Twitter, so I really appreciate that he took the time out to kind of get some news and information from Twitter and other spaces to kind of inform us as well. So big shout out to him. But I kind of wanted to start the video off with kind of this sort of discussion. But of course, topic of today is kind of continuing of where we left. So before the sealed tier list, I did kind of do your usual super high end space sort of, you know, 10k plus, 5k plus, 3k plus. I'm kind of finishing off that with the lower end, sort of 1k to 2k, $500 to 100,000 to 1,000 pounds, and then kind of the 200 pounds, $200 to $500 range. Just kind of closing that out. I do plan to do a video on the, you know, the really lower end, because I love to do that as well. I do buy a bunch of those as well, because there are a lot of really pretty cards in that space as well. So it's just a matter of, do you want those things on your desk? If so, I recommend buying them while they're cheap. We all know Ahri Inquisitive has gone up in price, and so I want to discuss that as well. But starting off today, we have the Akali overnumbered. This sold almost 2k sell now. Of course, I don't know if this is going to go up or down. I don't know, by virtue of the demand for Akali is so high. So, and there are only two we see here, PSA 10 on the market. I think because there will be such a slow drip feed of these Akali cards into the market, I think the demand will continue to pick up, and the amount of supply won't be able to pull back that price point. Now, I know people have some frustration around grading them. You know, they say it's fraudulent and it's silly. People should just play the cards and so on. You know, I have nothing against grading. I like the idea of grading. I think it's a great sort of tool and space in the TCG space. Of course, yes, some PSA gradings are a bit suspect, but I think generally it's great to know that you have a minty card in your hand. It's just verification that, okay, this card looks minty to me, I'm going to send it off, particularly if you go to BGS, if you go to Tag and other grading companies, they come back and inform you that, yeah, you've got a pretty minty card. So I do like this. I do like the grading space. So I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I think it's a good addition to the collector space. And of course, it does add value to the card, because now that someone knows it's minty, they want that minty version. You've done the hard work. They'll then buy it for you, buy it from you for a pretty penny. So we see 2K here for Akali. Again, I'm not sure if this will go up or down in price. Yeah, I'm not sure if it go up or down in price. Just one to be mindful of. And I kind of wanted to highlight this as well. So the Ahri Inquisitive from Vendetta, of course, part of the Crystal Rose set skin line, so also the mini set. 1.5k. Now again, this should go down in price. Do not rush and buy this. If you do want this graded, of course, as I mentioned, BGS, you know, if they're selling you a 10 with a bit of issue on the centering, it's a 10 with issue on the centering. You know, this is an expensive card. In the UK, we like to say spenny, as in expensive, but spenny because you're spending a lot of money. This is a spenny card, and I wouldn't buy this at this price. This is going to flood the market. You'll be alright, but something to note just now. So I wanted to cover Ivern as well in this space. 2 points. So Michelle Mark, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. She was the lead art director for Riftbound, and she is now leaving that role. And the person taking that role is the designer Alan, who designed the Ahri overnumbered for Korean origins, the alt art. So I think we're in good hands. But I did want to just highlight this. So this, in my opinion, this is my favorite card from Unleashed. Of course, it's just my personal preference. I do love how uncanny and eerie this is. Of course, Ivern is quite a whimsical, sort of positive character, but this here looks quite uncanny, almost eerie, very psychedelic. I really do appreciate this. We see here 1.6k. Of course, the demand for Ivern isn't as high as other champions, but I do really appreciate this. And again, there are so few in the market because, again, most people aren't really interested in grading it because they don't think they can get the craziest return. But I really do appreciate this card. Again, it's my favorite, and this would be a card I pick up at some point, probably non-signed as well. Non-signed as well. If I ever had the disposable money for the signed version, I would grab this because I think it's a phenomenal card in my opinion. Then we have Kaisa, the non-signed. Again, we've been seeing this for ages. The non-signed Kaisa is climbing in price. We are seeing above 1k for the non-signed alone. We have the Ahri from Spiritford, as I mentioned. This has climbed down from its peak of like $2,200. It went pretty crazy. It was pretty excessive. We do see 1.35 here. We do see another sell for about 1.6k as well. So there are fluctuating price points. Again, it is still very much in heavy demand, particularly because it has dropped down from that crazy peak of 2k. Now at 1.3k, 1.6k, it is a bit more, attainable, and people are more willing to, a lot of people are willing to, part with their money for this card. And then, as I mentioned, Origins as well. We see here BGS 10, 1.5k as well for the non-signs. These cards are still spenny. These cards are definitely, premiums. We see here, Tag as well. And again, Tag and BGS are two graded companies that, if you're sending it off, whatever grade you get back is a pretty decent indication of the quality of that card. And again, they inform you it's a premium. They effectively give you a premium over the non-graded versions. We see Darius at 1.75 for the signature, and again, it's crazy because we have non-signatures like Ahri from Spiritforge, Ahri from Origins, virtually the same price, and was higher in before, for example, the Spiritforged Ahri than the signed version of Darius. Now, Darius is an OG champion, sick champion, Dunk Master, just crazy. However, he is having a little rough moment. I think just by virtue of this card not being the most exciting, and again, it doesn't represent Darius. We've never seen Darius in this sort of goofy. Like all we've known Darius to be is a crazy menace. One auto attack Q, and you're in pain. You're in pain. So it's just a bit strange to see Darius in this light. So I think that has set the baseline for his price point. I'll be honest, and he has been one of the cheapest cards, both the Spiritforge version and the Origins version. Now the Spiritforge version, again, we see here just 1k for his signed version as well. hefty bid as well with PSA 34 that bidded. Well, we see only 1k, so again, much less than those non-signed over numbers as well. We are seeing more and more coming from Unleashed. We do see Poppy, again, a steep drop from the crazy high she had at like 3k. We did see like a 2 sales around $3,000. Pretty excessive. We are seeing some pullbacks that make sense. And we should expect some more pullback once the T1 cards are out, because those will be all the rage. We just saw some of the cards and the mintiness of them. They will be all the rage, and people, like I said, I'm selling a bunch. People are going to be selling a bunch to fund buying those cards. That's going to be a moment in TCG history we won't be able to forget. But 1.3k for Poppy, again, fantastic art in my opinion. I love that it feels like both the new Poppy and the old Poppy. KK Zhang, they did a fantastic job on this. And we have Ambessa as well. Ambessa signed as well. Someone threw it into PSA. They said express shipping now. Came back, currently 2 in PSA 10, 1.4k. In my opinion, phenomenal art. I really, really love this art for Ambessa. And yeah, we see 1.4k as well. So great price point in my opinion as well. We see Vex. We see Vex at 1.8k. Now, again, Vex, I don't understand her fan base. I like her kit. I do think she's a very quirky champion. I don't really understand her fan base though. You hardly see Vex. I mean, she was in pro play when she came out for a little bit, but then she disappeared. We do see 1.8k for Vex in overnumbered PSA 10 as well. So that's kind of the price point we're seeing. And if you are a Vex player, let me know. Let me know your thoughts on what excites you about Vex. Why is Vex all the rage? And is she the feet champion, the one that everyone likes to see her feet? I don't know. That might be Bria. I'm not too sure. We have Rengar, 1.8k. I showed you in the previous video. I'll probably link it here again. Kind of all the different versions that Rengar could have been, and they selected this one. Not the most exciting version of Rengar. Very flat, you know, where we know Rengar is all the terror and fear. This doesn't really invoke that at all. But we do see 1.8k. I think it's a solid price point for the card that's been delivered. And again, I think Rengar collectors are waiting for something much more exciting, but I think he'll come in due time, to be honest. Then kind of closing at kind of the 1 to 2k range, we do see Karma. Phenomenal card. I think this is such a gorgeous card, I'll be so honest. It's so pretty, it's soft. I do look forward to, again, because this is the Spirit Blossom theme line, skin line, they had to all kind of sit around this sort of creative decision, creative direction. I do look forward to seeing Karma. I know she's coming in Legacy, so she's getting a legend card, so I do look forward to her having the artist having creative freedom to kind of express Karma in her own light, because Karma's an OG. She's amazing. Her kit's been amazing. She's been such a menace, mid, top, jungle, not jungle support. So I do look forward to seeing Karma in a different light. And then we have Yasuo. Yasuo at 1.7k. Sorry, I refreshed them. Let me make sure they're viewing. Yasuo 1.7k. Again, not the most exciting Yasuo card in my opinion. But again, if you are a Yasuo collector, or you are a collector of all things soft, sort of, you know, softer tones, then I think this is for you. Not particularly my cup of tea, but I still think there's clearly demand still for this card. So 1.7k, 1.725, and if you're a collector and you think it's a decent price point, then definitely feel free to buy it at this price. And then closing out on some of the Poros, so we do see the Plundering Poro here, about 1.2k this sold for. Again, it's pretty cool. These are coming back graded. I love Poros. Poros are great. And then we see the Daring Poro for 1.13k. So I kind of want to just highlight that as well, because I did think that was pretty quirky, to be honest. We then have the the Fervent Irelia, again non-signed. You know, not as high as, say, Ahri from Origins of Spirit Forge, which are like 1.3 to 1.5, 1.6k in dollars. But we do see a solid $800 for Irelia. Very, very solid price point. And again, I think a great card in my opinion. We have Yasuo, PSA 10, again, non-signed. Again, we are looking very much at a graded space today. And then we'll cover more non-graded prices as I did a few days ago. You know, $500 for Yasuo. Again, the graded space there is a lot of demand in the space. It is exciting, and $500, this is cheap in my opinion. I think I've come to accept that Yasuo isn't as in demand as all the other champions. I thought he would be, just for what he represents for League of Legends, but it's clear that he's not in as high demand as I thought. Misfortune, I'm still waiting on this card to arrive. I ordered this last week. It's stuck at a post office. And I called them. They were like, no, it's already been dispatched. It's been sent off. But then I spoke to the seller, and the seller's like, no, actually I have like 3 other items stuck in that post office, so I'm gonna go there and like ask them what's going on, because I do want this, and I can still buy non-graded for a decent price. So I'm just waiting so I can get this. But this is the gorgeous card, $750. And again, the demand is climbing for this, so I do hope I can get mine as soon as possible, because I don't want to pay like double what I paid for the non-sign. I paid like £100 for it, nothing too expensive. But if it turns to £200, then I'm gonna be annoyed, because I'll get a refund and I'll buy something else. But you know, I want this card. It's a very pretty card in my opinion. And then we have Vayne for $740. Again, very gorgeous card, non-sign, so again, not going to be as expensive, and this is still within reach for many people as well. Again, I'm not really fascinated in buying cards that aren't Morgana, or like, I don't know. I'm not really, again, if it's not T1, if it's not GG Easy Teemo, I won't buy it personally. But I think what I appreciate about League of Legends is that collectors are very isolated in their own champion groups. Like, there are a lot of one-trick ponies. I'm not a Morgana one-trick pony. I was at some point, but I very much do want to collect her cards. So while I won't buy a Vayne card, someone else will, and I'll buy Morgana. So we have like a loads of isolated pockets, and of course there is a lot of crossover. People would have played 3-4 champions, main a bunch of champions. So while I won't buy Vayne, I'll buy another champion, and that kind of keeps the ecosystem flowing. So again, $740, solid card as well, great pickup, a bit expensive. I'd probably buy the non-graded version and just hold on to that, and then grade it at some point yourself, in my opinion. Teemo, a bit on the cheaper end, $610. Nothing, again, it's not the most exciting card in my opinion. A bit whimsical, but it's a bit of a flat card. And then rounding out with Jinx, again, on the cheaper end, again, this, you know, I think we were discussing it in the UK Discord. You know, we don't see power, we don't see, you know, we don't see our gun, we don't see our weapons. So it's just not the most exciting. It is a great card. It's a fantastic card, I'll be honest. But you know, it's not Jinx. It doesn't scream Jinx. So I do look forward to seeing Jinx more, and maybe we'll see more. Maybe we'll see Jinx and Radiance. Who knows? But you know, this isn't the most exciting card personally. And then just closing out with the sort of $200 to $500 range. Honestly, we see a lot of the Spirit Forge Legend cards in this space. We see a few alt arts, but we're kind of seeing the Spirit Forge two-tone legends in this space. And again, gorgeous card, one of my favorite cards in the TCG, the Irelia Blade Dancer. We do see $355. This is cheap. This is very cheap, I'll be honest. And this is, I'm probably gonna buy the non-signed version quite soon, because this is a gorgeous card. I do want to have this on my desk. And the graded, this is very, very cheap for this card. I'm very surprised that this hasn't, people haven't taken notice of this. This is a very gorgeous card. We see Yone as well, $286. We are seeing a lot of the sort of the Spirit Force sort of space, sort of cards kind of taking this $200 to $500 space. So again, $286, pretty solid price point. This card is picking up demand as well. This is cheap as well, in my opinion. Yone is becoming very popular. We have Darius in his Spirit Forged overnumbered, $300 as well. Probably on brand. That's about right. In fact, that seems a bit high for this card as well. Karma, again, gorgeous card. This is the non-signed, $250. I think it's probably bang on the money, just by virtue of it being a support champion. Aphelios, $250. I mentioned before, not the most exciting card. It's a pretty card, but again, I've said it many times in terms of the depth of attachment you can get to Aphelios as a champion compared to others. So 250 seems about right. But again, we'll have to see as the T1 cards come out and the market becomes a buyer's market. This would definitely become a buyer's market very soon, in that sellers will sell or buy. Sorry, it's very late at night. I'm recording. People wanting to sell will have to sell into a space where everyone is trying to sell. So the buyer gets to dictate the price and decide what they want to buy. So we are going to see people racing to the bottom quite soon. Maybe anyway. I say maybe because the amount of demand that will go into the TCG space may overwhelm that, and again, it might be a case that the supply might not be able to reach the demand as well. So we'll just have to see. You know, I'm not giving any final statements. We see Sivir here, 212. Again, they did Sivir dirty. They did Sivir really dirty. I look forward to Sivir having her own proper overnumbered. Again, maybe in Legacy, because she is an OG champion as well. Let's see, man. Let's see. We have Fiora as well. Again, I think this is a gorgeous Fiora card, to be honest, just under $300. But again, I look forward to when she gets her own. And I think they've done a good job because the new Fiora isn't too different visually to old Fiora. I think this can kind of appeal to both bases, the new base and the older base. We see Renata Glass, and I couldn't find her on 130 sales. I did find her on eBay research, which is also a useful tool to figure out sales. So we did see her sell for $250, you know, after best offer. We see OG Volibear. Now, OG Volibear, you know, he is on the cheaper end because, again, he's not the most meta. He isn't as played, but this is OG. I will buy this very soon, just to have this on my desk. I said it before that I wasn't planning to do it. I changed my mind quite quickly. I will get him. So Irelia, Blade Dancer, and Volibear, they're the next two on my radar. And I think, was there one more? There may be one more. But again, we see him $250. I mean, nothing crazy. I think, you know, there's no issue with some being super high and some being on the cheaper end, so that's no issue there. We see Jax, again, one of my favorite cards from Spirit Forge as well. $286. This is cheap, and this is no one's picking up on Jax right now, which is fine. It's great. Let it stay cheap. I'm gonna pick this up as well. It's a great card as well. Jax is such an OG, and I hope he shows up in Legacy as well, to be honest. Azir, $290, nothing crazy, quite on par. You know, we've seen this for quite some time. Lucian, we have $220, using eBay research. So again, pretty standard, nothing too crazy in terms of price points. Again, because these don't have signed versions, this is kind of generally the range we're going to see these at. And of course, they will probably all climb up in price over time as the demand for these two tones pick up. But at the moment, they're not the hype, they're not all the rage. They're kind of sitting in this kind of purgatory. They've kind of been in this price for some time, and I think that's more than fine. It remains cheap to buy. It remains that kind of lower mid-range point that if you have these and you go to a card show, you can kind of trade these to get to that card you want, because these are still exciting cards to have. So vendors will happily take this from you. And so we see Ezreal as well, 370, again, very stable in terms of its price point. We see Soraka, it was best offer of about 420. We see an Yasuo 445. So again, very much she is in that anomaly space in terms of being more expensive as a non-signed overnumbered, but again, still very much below kind of Ahri, Spirit Forge, Kaisa, but still very much a support champion and exciting nonetheless. And then I kind of want to just close out on like a few old arts. We see Ahri Inquisitive going for $200 now, which is crazy. That's crazy. But it's crazy. I actually don't know what to say. It's a gorgeous card, make no mistake, very gorgeous card, but it is an epic, and there are like a good bajillion of these on the market. But all things Ahri, and it is a pretty card, and that's the thing. And again, I'll do a video on these quite soon. There are a lot of pretty cards that are very cheap that are very cool to collect, and just having a binder, or I have mine in like the Vendetta, in the vaults, that Unleash and Vendetta vault. That's where I keep my cards at the moment. Probably not the best, but that's what I do at the moment. But very cheap, a card, $200. We see here Kaisa old art as well, $250. Again, it is climbing in price just by virtue of Kaisa as well climbing in price, and again, Kaisa remains very good in the game as well. So $250 as well. So again, there is demand for old arts. You know, I don't speak on this Time Warp card much at all because again, the price point is really dictated by the game itself, because this is a playable card, but it is a cool looking card, and so I don't usually talk about cards that are, you know, whose price point is based on their playability. But I did kind of want to just mention this. It's $300 for basically the PSA 10. It's a cool card. I mained Echo for so long. He's still my main. So it's very cool to see this card for him. And I know he's going to get a card in Radiance. And just on that topic of Radiance before we close out. So I really do think we're getting a Heartsteel, True Damage, and KDA collab. Because the playmat you get if you go to regional qualifiers is Cassante, and behind it is like the scratchings of Heartsteel. So I feel like it would just make sense that we're getting something Heartsteel related as well, which means Yone gets to shine as well. I think it's going to be a crazy situation, and they're kind of trying to end the year off with a musical theme. We've got in set 19 of TFT, we have the it's supposed to be a set based on music. We've just had recent skins for Seraphine and Jinx that are music based, the Ocean Song. I really do think, and then we have rumors of KDA for Radiance. I really do think they're trying to go out with a bang with all three. We have Echo as well from True Damage, so I feel like we're going to get True Damage / Radiance / Radiant true damage slash KDA slash heartsteel all in one set, which would be a really crazy way to end the you know, the last set of the year. And maybe we see something like that at Worlds as well, like maybe a virtual performance or something along those lines. I mean, they did a virtual dragon for one of the Worlds, if you guys remember, for the world opening for in China. Maybe they do some sort of virtual sort of concert as well. Who knows? Who knows? But I think we'll leave it there. Let me know your thoughts. Again, I think my next video will be on the cheaper end, and then I do want to speak about metals, because metals are really having their own space now as well. It's very exciting. Metals, and then kind of the promos, GG Easy, the arcane promos, some of the more rarer promos like the regionals, and then even, for example, the TFT French card as well. So a bunch of things I want to look at, and hopefully all in time before the T1 draw ends and we get to learn who has won the chance to buy the cards and the box, sorry. So hopefully a few of those videos between now and the 20th, and then from then on we go into T1 pre-sale space, and that is going to be crazy. So yeah, we'll leave it there. As usual, I'm sweating like a menace at the moment. As usual, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll speak soon. Thanks.